everyone, and welcome back to another Exo Heroes video, and today we are going to be covering FC Luke's core reverse, and this was a relatively small change, a relatively quick change, and so the video is going to follow suit. Now, there's only one thing that really changed, and they just added a new passive to him, so we're going to get right on that. So as you can see here, he keeps all the Heart Strike, all that good stuff, block, that stays the same. But at the bottom here, we have Ultimate Sacrifice. If the caster has a removable buff, recovery, or positive effect applied, he receives Ultimate Sacrifice effect. Special, increases own defense and health regeneration by 200%, and transfers all damage received by allies with his own share health effect to himself. And we've got a couple of thoughts about this. I'm gonna let Hao start talking about them.
Yeah, so if you've seen some of our older videos, you know, we have a pretty high opinion of Luke. We think the rest of his kit is definitely good. He's a very solid legendary defender, one that can easily be swapped in for you if you don't have some of the top tier Fated defenders. And that hasn't really changed. With the new additional Fate core here, the Ultimate Sacrifice, in our opinion, it hasn't really made him a whole lot better. From a PvP perspective, we really think this doesn't really work all that well. The main reason for that is the increased own defense and health regenerating effect by 200%. That's very solid. 200% defense increase is no joke. Health regenerating effect by 200%. This is a little bit more situational because obviously Luke does not have a very consistent health regen himself. His block 2 passive, if you look at it, does heal him for 20% of his own attack for 5 turns whenever it procs, so that's not bad, but given that he is a defense hero, this is not going to be a very profound amount of healing. So you really need another healer out there that has healing over time to really benefit this, so something maybe like a Dorka or FC Lapin. So it's not bad, but also a little bit situational. The most significant part of this passive is probably the second part, the transfer all damage received by allies with own share health to himself. So obviously, true to the name Ultimate Sacrifice, he essentially takes damage for everybody. And in our opinion, this can be a very impactful skill in PvP had Luke be a little bit faster, right? Because the key here is it transfers damage received by allies with share health effect. So it's not like when someone takes damage, it just automatically transfers to him. You have to first cast the share health skill, which is Luke's A2. So we'll take a look at here, right? Shield of Loyalty, right? Increases his own health by 54% and grants share health with all allies for 18%. So you have to cast this skill in order to take advantage of the Ultimate Sacrifice passive. However, we checked, Luke has an attack speed of 30. That is extremely slow. In fact, that is the slowest in the game, we believe. So the issue with that is, in PvP, especially now, with a lot of these fast team comps, Luke will be, without a doubt, the last person to move in every single round. So he's going to be the 10th person by the time he casts his share health. The rest of the team already made their own sacrifices. You can be sure of that. There won't be any allies left to keep alive. So that is the issue that we see him in a PvP situation. However, we do think that from a PvE perspective, there are a lot of places where he can still benefit from this skill. And, you know, we've came up a couple of ideas in places like Upier's Labyrinth and Dragon Holy Ground. So I'll let Edward to talk a little bit more about that.
Sure, so in content like Upier's and Holy Dragon Grounds, where the enemies are going to hit really hard, and you would rather just have one person die instead of your whole team get wiped, then we think that Luke, if again he's fast enough to get off the Ultimate Sacrifice, this would actually be pretty useful and maybe become his niche in PvE, where he literally just becomes this punching bag that you sacrifice in content that you wouldn't normally be able to clear. We do think actually that if we wanted to experiment a little bit and create this team comp around utilizing this passive, we could see him being paired with a Reviver, someone like FC Lapin, and then maybe paired up with a Dorka and a Naomi. And this is obviously because Dorka provides the healing, but also minus 30% magic damage taken, and because Naomi has her own share health. If she uses that, it's minus, I believe, 30% damage to her allies, of which Luke would be one of them. So now Luke is taking 30% less magic damage, 30% less damage overall, and even if he does die, he has FC Lepin for the revive and then the damage immunity next turn. So in this sense, we could see FC Luke having use as a recyclable punching bag where he dies, saves your team, and then you bring him back with Lepin. He gets his share health off again, and you just rinse and repeat this cycle to sort of cheese through PvE content. Now, again, naturally in PvP, this is definitely not going to work. So we think that this core reverse was actually designed with PvE in mind, which is a little bit weird because typically they're more PvP focused. With that having been said, it honestly feels like after this core reverse, FC Luke might be due for another core reverse because this really didn't make him that much better, and as a Fate core, we don't think that this added as much value as it should have.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely would be interesting to try it out in certain PvE areas, especially like the team comp that Edward just mentioned, and maybe you even add on top someone like Chetty for, you know, a very unkillable, tanky Dragon Holy Grounds team. Outside of that, absolutely just don't see a lot of use cases for him right now. So maybe we'll see maybe another Fate Core Reverse, Reverse will come back. But that's gonna be it for us. We did pull FC Luke earlier today, so we'll be testing it out and, you know, maybe give you guys an update a little bit later. But for now, we'll leave it at here. We have more Exos Hero related videos coming out this week, a lot of other stuff related to Signature Force and things like that, so make sure you check that out. We will also be continuing to make Genshin Impact related videos as well. Tier lists, hero reviews are on their way, so stay tuned for those. But with that being said, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video very soon.